Hi everyone, my name is PANDELILAZARIDI. Again, for the third time now, I appeared to YouTube to show you or talk to you about voice, about singing, speaking, and the rest of it. I may have an accent, but at least I will try to speak clearly. I may use funny ways of structure because in Greek, because I studied the language very intensively. I loved the language and I was involved with theater and singing, enunciating, and also to the vocabulary and using the grammar in a proper way. But we use the grammar differently than we use it here in the United States. We sometimes say the verb after the word, after the adjective, and sometimes before noun or adjectives or whatever we use. Like we say, today I'm going to the beach, or I'm going to the beach today, but that's the easy. But you say, ready I am, for instance. We kind of, it sounds the opposite. So I'm having a little trouble to remember at the times the English expressions in structure, but it's because I'm so used to speak properly in my language. So in my mind, when I try to do it in English, I say words upside down. I say the verb after or before, and it doesn't sound correct. And I have expressions that I use thinking of my definitions in my language, and sometimes I am funny when I speak, but I would be able to explain to you what is involved with singing, making sounds, speaking, and projecting. We always running into the same problems because we overdose. We really exaggerate because we think we have to be so perfect, and it takes such an effort to make a sound or make an effort to sing a song that we don't know how easy it is to measure. The chords are so small and we use them like the thinking about so big, especially at the high notes. So at the high notes, the chords get longer because they want to make a higher sound. But the chords are like this, right here, right below the tip of the Adam's apple, right here. The chords are connected into the front part of the larynx, and behind they have some big muscles called cricoarytenoid muscles that they move the chords into mid like this. So here there are folds on the sides of the chords. So when the chords close, everything is closed. There's no way of any air to come out at those moments that they are vibrating. That's why it makes that sound. It's like this. Or so we hit a specific part of our hands that fits into the other to make a perfect closing part of the air. That's what makes the sound. So the same way, if we decide to use our chords to make sounds, then we take a decision either to speak or to make a sound, whatever it is. Or otherwise we say, we make sounds without voice. So we have that choice. Now, singing is so ridiculously easy, as I tell people. And that's because if we know how to use the voice, it's ridiculously easy. Otherwise, it brings you a lot of problems. Because there are more details in singing than we think they are. during a song, the length of a song is close to from 2 minutes to 3 minutes is a regular size of a song length. In those 3 minutes, we breathe so many times that we don't breathe usually, because naturally, without thinking, in order to have our oxygen, we breathe approximately from 15 to 16 times in a minute, during a minute. And in a song, we breathe a lot more times than these, especially if the song is a little longer. So we need to know when to breathe, how much breath to take, and how to release it. Okay, that's the important thing in singing, besides knowing how to create a sound and release it out. When I say release the air out, because the voice is air, bringing with the force of it from the vibrations that brings in the hard palate, the hard palate of your mouth. Okay. And this is the resonating board, and right inside, vibrations heat, and they create a sound, and then magnified comes out of the mouth, which our speaker. The speaker that we do have, that you use it to magnify the sound for long distances. It's the same. It's the first one. The most natural is the mouth. Ah, eh, and so it magnifies those sounds on the roof, and then they come out in sound waves. That if you know how to create those sound waves correctly, without hurting your cords, getting hoarse, and making the best sounds you can make, then you use it for singing also. Singing is not that much different than speaking. It's the same, except we sustain the sounds longer. For instance, when you hear a priest saying, "And now, my children, we are gathered here to study the parable number 5. Okay, so that sounds more musical, is more attractive, and it's also easier to enunciate and get the words clear out. So a little more sustaining of the sound, you say, it's like, "I'm going to the market to buy some apples." So what you do is you create the pitches that you need to make the different notes, and becomes a song. It's simple. Then the details of somebody making an art of how to move their voice and how to do the embellishments or ornamentations, as they call them, or the runs, and they call them typically in pop music and stuff. Okay. In the opera, they call them ornamentations or embellishments. And those are the runs that we have. The song like, something like that. Win away. That's the whole thing is called an embellishment or ornamentation, because it's like the ornaments that you put in the tree to make it look beautiful and all decorated the way we do in Christmas. Okay, I know I talked a little bit nonsense to get my sentences together, but at least I give you information that is correct, and I passed through, because I learned how to sing since I was 4 years, 4.5, 5 years old, and I was practicing to be able to hold the whole phrase with one breath, because as small as I was, my lungs were not having all this capacity of air, especially when you sing, to keep the breath. Usually when singing, when children are singing, they take a breath every 2-3 words, because they feel that there's not enough air. Okay, there is a way to train to use a small breath, holding a long phrase without taking a breath, and then you take the breath when you need to. basically we run into the same problems, all of us. We're not the first ones or the last ones through learning how to sing. We exaggerate, first of all, because we think we have to try so hard, and it's not that hard. It's how you do it. That's all it counts. And it's very easily for somebody to find the freedom of the voice. That means to unleash your voice, learn how to unlock your voice. Because we lock it without knowing. We really block the air coming out here because we try to make the voice coming from here, and we use those muscles so much in a different way that the air is not released. And most of it stayed inside the mouth, and it's not projecting. It's like you have a projector, like the old ones, with a pictures that you put in a place, and then the spotlight through the magnifying glass, and then you project it on the screen. And if you put the spotlight the opposite way, there will be nothing showing in the screen. That's the same with the voice. If you don't know how to release the sound out of your mouth properly, then it doesn't go to where you want to send it. Because we are the ones who send the sound, and we cannot hear it the way the other people that are across from you. Then we have a difficulty of sensing how the sound is. Most of the times, we could use questions to people that are experts, or in the rehearsals, or when we sing, we ask somebody, how did that sound? And if there are people who know a little bit about voice, they can help you a lot. They don't have to be teachers or anything. They just tell you that's not coming across, it's not too loud. And then you think you're loud, because what you do is, because the larynx is so close to your eardrums, you hear this right inside, and you think it's a big sound, but it doesn't project out. It's like the spotlight has to be like this. The air has to be exited from your mouth with such pressure after you make the sound, to be able to be sent to people's ears. Okay. There are a lot of different details in singing. It's not as simple as people think it is, and it's not the scales that can make you understand your voice. It's what you have to do is using my method that I figured out, and that's the way I learned how to sing, having problems with a good teacher for 7 years to understand what it is that I have to do to release my sound out there free. I was very confused, and then I figured out it's the scales that they make me be so confused, and I was not able to listen to my voice. I was trying to feel what it is as I listened to other people and thought that this is the way to do it. And so I was having a problem understanding how to release the sound, how to unlock my voice. Okay, and this is the whole idea, is how to release that pressure of air that comes out, carrying those vibrations, and then sound waves, where it comes, it hits that area, and then it comes out through the megaphone that we have, the mouth. So I'm going to be coming again and again. I will do this often enough to give you more information on how many things are involved with voice, and what the important parts are. And I hope that will help you putting things together to get the information and being able to release. I would give you a lot of different examples that will help you to understand what you're doing, and being able to listen to your voice, pay attention to your instrument, and get familiar. Because when we are young, we know a lot of instruments because we have heard them, and the people said this is the guitar, and this is the flute, this is clarinet, So we know those sounds. We're very familiar with them. It's like you listen to the sound of your mother or father or brother, sister. You know it. It's in your memory. When you think of your sister or your brother, your mother or father, then the voice is coming into your ears like you hear it now. Okay, so we have a extremely good memory of some voice that we hear all the time towards us. And what we do with a voice, because it goes this way, we have a difficulty to understand and kind of confirm if the sound is good, if the sound is better, whatever it is. So I found out with my exercises that I discovered there are a lot of different consonants and vowels combinations that I use, sometimes funny sounds, to do short samples of your voice, short samples. And it's like you're going to Home Depot and want to buy a carpet. They have it by square feet. They don't have the whole carpet. So you see a sample, and then you buy the whole carpet if you like the color, like the texture, whatever it is that you're trying to find. I'm going to come back again, and I'll try to be more specific and not to use too many examples at the same time. I will be more specific in details and tell you what you can do to understand what problems we run into when we begin singing. For this time, well, it's Wednesday, 17th of July, 2019. And I promise you that every time my videos would be short and meaty, that would have the details you need to know in a very short time, because now it takes so much time to repeat things again and again. And I'm nervous because I haven't done that too many times. When I give lessons, I have no problem because I bring all the examples and all the things to explain to people how you should feel to make that sound. Okay, so I will be more specific because when I don't have anybody here live to have a video, which is coming soon, I will be able to do this so you can watch what's going on and being able to get a lot of information by watching. Because in the classes that I have taught many people at the same time, I work with every individual for maybe 5 to 7 minutes and then rotate again and again. So when people listen to that person being on the stage and the comments that we do, all the students together, about the sounds and what is involved and what is wrong and how we can improve the sounds, then when you come back to rotate, it's easy because you pick up information by watching people how to do it. Then you doing it, you can't watch yourself, but the other people watch, and with the comments, then you learn, or you get information or confirmation that the things you did were more correct when you got a little bit of information or a little direction how to do it in a better way. Okay. My name is PANDELILAZARIDI again. I will talk to you soon. Take care.